Hi everyone. The topic of today's webinar is aspartame. Aspartame is an artificial sweetener that is used in over 6,000 food products around the world, and I'm sure all of you have had aspartame sometimes in your life, probably every day actually. And the use of aspartame is approved by over 90 countries around the world. It's deemed safe to consume by humans, and it is present in pretty much all the diet products, low-fat yogurts, and sugar-free type of food, and sweets, gums, you name it, pretty much everything, really. And but despite its abundance, most Australians only consume about 6 to 15% of the established acceptable daily intake amount of aspartame per day, which was well below the level where adverse health effect could occur. But you need to know that aspartame abuse can cause serious health damage, which is pretty much true with everything, really. So how much is too much? Well, the acceptable daily intake amount of aspartame, I think it's at, but it need to be within 40 milligrams per kilograms of body weight per day. And this is the figure that's reconfirmed in 2006 when the Food and Health Organization did a review on the safety of aspartame. So just to give you a general idea, so Diet Coke contains around 0.52 milligrams per mil of aspartame. Therefore, a 60 kilogram person would need to drink around 5 kilos of Diet Coke per day to reach the upper limit, of the acceptable daily intake for aspartame. And we normally don't drink that much Coke, but if you're really thirsty, you probably could consume about 5 liters of it. Then we have Coke Zero, which contains less than half of the amount of aspartame compared to Diet Coke. So therefore, one 60 kilogram weight person will have to drink around 10 liters of Coke Zero a day to be considered as unsafe. And normal humans can't really consume 10 liters of liquid a day at all. So it's pretty much impossible for you to reach the upper acceptable limit of aspartame by drinking Coke Zero. So it is, or the health authorities, food and safety authorities, deemed aspartame to be, pretty safe for human consumption. But there have been reports of, negative adverse health effect when you consume aspartame. So there has been a constant debate. So aspartame has been approved by pretty much all the major health food safety organizations around the world: FDA of the USA, EFSA of Europe, and FSANZ, which is Australia, New Zealand Food Safety Organization, some sort like that. And we all know that the daily intake is well below the established limit, and there have been multiple scientific reviews conducted by FDA and EFSA as such to show that aspartame has very good, it's very safe for human consumption. And even though there some studies back in 2010 showed long-term use might be unsafe. Long-term use might be unsafe, but after pretty rigorous review by the European Food Safety Commission. They deemed those scientific reports as flawed in terms of their design. So whatever it's been published, it's not valid. But since then, actually since 2011, there have been a lot of studies popped up to show that the consumption of aspartame is, might not be that safe to humans. And it has been shown that consumption of aspartame can lead to imbalancing antioxidants in rats. Well, you know, if it happens in rats, it might happen in humans. We never know. But it has been shown to, just to have one serving of soda per day can increase the chance of lymphoma, or may increase the chance of lymphoma in men, but not in women. Long-term exposure of aspartame induced oxidative stress in brain in animals, and there have been medical reports showing that consumption of aspartame can cause systemic allergic reactions in some people. And as of today, which is the 24th of September 2013, on the news it has pretty much leaked, indicated that the original aspartame was synthesized from metabolic product of E. coli, which people call it, well, it's more of a media sensationalism, but they call it poop. It's very different from poop, but genetically modified E. coli, it's no good. So just keep that in mind. But because of all these reports emerged since 2011, the EFTA was asked by the European Commission to reevaluate the safety of aspartame, and that's actually quite a significant thing. And the final report was scheduled to be released in May, but now it's now postponed to November 2013. So we'll just have to wait to see what they find about the safety of aspartame after all the recent studies. And many people take use sugar-free food and take sugar-free product because they want to lose weight or want to control their own weight. But in reality, the contribution of aspartame or sugar replacement, artificial sweeteners to weight loss is currently unproven. It does have a psychological effect. Consuming artificial sweeteners unknowingly can reduce calorie intake. But if you consume it knowingly, then you can actually increase calorie intake. And all of us buy Diet Coke because we know it's Diet Coke. So it can actually make you fatter, pretty much. And also, in 2012, American Heart Foundation, American Diabetes Foundation, issued a statement stating that there is insufficient data indicating that the use of artificial sweeteners in place of caloric sweeteners, caloric sweeteners, which is just like normal sugar, does not have any health benefit whatsoever. So, and that was published in a very, very prestigious journal called Circulation. So, final words. There are a lot of questions being asked regarding the long-term safety of aspartame. That's true. And there are absolutely no health benefits of consuming aspartame. So my recommendation is that fresh food and drinks are your best bet, and if you could, stay away from it. But if you think that everything gives you cancer anyway, you don't care, then go for it. Because it's very difficult to consume really large portion, really large amount of aspartame that will kill you on the spot. So but what I recommend you to do is to try to keep your intake low, And if you could, just keep an eye on the results of the safety re-evaluation of aspartame, which will be released by the European Food and Safety Commission at the end of the year. That's the end of the webinar. Thank you.